And now, this command is the camera. This is GST 202 online facilitation. And if you have been trying to join us, please come on board. I'm Dr. Olabamiji Uyebode. Today we are looking at Module 3 of our course material. In the past, we have looked at the other modules, and then we have tried to summarize the content of the modules we have looked through. In a way, this will also be a summary of the module. Trends in global issues. We are looking at the different ways by which the international community tries to address the issue of conflict in a way that we can engender peace, we can allow peace, we can bring peace to areas where there are conflicts. And one important thing that has been done is the setting up of international organizations. And we have a number of them. For example, we have those that are called Global International Organization or World International Organization. We have the umbrella body of such organizations as the United Nations. Other ones that are under them are like International Labour Organization, World Trade Organization, and a host of others. They have also tried to establish regional organizations in a way that people within certain regions and Ibrahim. 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 I think I tried to press it. I've lost the thing again. Because I don't know, I don't know. Is it good that we are good? Okay, you can put on their online once we are recording. Okay. So it's unfortunate that you people are not able to join us today, but if you have access to this video, you can play back and listen to some of the gist that we have mentioned. So we have continental organizations that consist of foreign sovereign states within a continent. For example, we have African Union, we have Organization of American States, we have European Union. All these ones are under continental organizations. Peter Ogana, please, okay, you are welcome. I'm happy to see you, and I'm expecting that other students will also join. We have regional ones, like I've said, like ECOWAS, which is within a region in West Africa. We have the Development Commission. Please mute your audio so that it will not distort the audio I'm playing out here. And please position your camera well. I only want to see your face while you take part in this online facilitation. Like I've said, the United Nations organization is the one that is the umbrella body for all global bodies. But let us look at how the United Nations organization, UNO, is sorting at UN as a kind of structure. We have the General Assembly, which consists of all member states. We have the Security Council, and we have the Secretariat. The Security Council, for example, consists of permanent members and others. The entire membership is 15, out of which 6 of them are permanent members. You go through your course material, you see the list of those who are permanent members. The permanent members have the power of veto to say that, no, we are not accepting what you have brought. And the Secretariat looks to the day-to-day administration of the UN. And under the Secretariat, we have other agencies that are coordinated by the Secretariat. For example, we have the International Labour Organization, we have the Food and Agricultural Organization, we have the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. We have the International Court of Justice, we have the United Nations International Children's Fund, Educational Fund, UNICEF, and the World Health Organization, WHO. There are other international organizations, like I've said, which are regional. And these are the European Union, African Union, and the regional ones are the Economic Community of West Africa. And we also have Commonwealth of Nations, as consisting of people who have been under colonialism of Britain. So generally, the international organizations that we have mentioned are to ensure economic prosperity of the countries as well as guarantee regional cooperation, ensure peace and harmony, gender peaceful coexistence, as well as welfare of the people. Module 3, Unit 2 has to do with peaceful methods of conflict resolution. There are 2 ways of resolving conflict. One, we can resolve conflict through peaceful means. We can as well resolve conflict through violent means, using violence to counter violence. But the one that is said the peaceful means are called non-adversarial, because they don't have adverse effects. But the ones that are using force, non-peaceful means, are said to be adversarial. Principles of conflict resolution is that we try to search for common ground cooperation with the opponent on honorable terms, protect the opponent's person and his resources, reduce the demand to a minimum consistent with suit, avoid static condition, whereby somebody will say, until I get this, the conflict cannot be resolved. You have to give and take. Never lie, hold nothing back. Extend areas of rationality according to Scheme 2000. Conflict resolution is one method by which we resolve conflict in a peaceful manner, or we attend to conflict or address conflict in a peaceful manner. Conflict resolution is oriented toward changing conflicts so that they can be conducted constructively. In conflict resolution, you have to look at certain factors, study and identify the issues involved critically, address the identified issues, restore a moment of harmony by assuaging the feelings of the injured party and establishing justice and fairness. Three important things there. Assuaging the feelings of the injured, establish justice, and exhibit fairness. Conflict management. The process geared towards reducing the negative and destructive capacity of conflict through various means of measures and by working with and through the stakeholder, the parties. The stakeholders can be called parties in conflict. Conflict management is different from conflict resolution in that conflict resolution assumes that you can tackle a conflict and resolve it once and for all. Whereas conflict management says you have to manage it over a period of time. It's a process, a long one, and you try to regulate the conflict so that you reduce the violent output. Again, conflict transformation is another method of peacefully attending to conflict. And it is widely promoted by John Paul Ledrage in 1995. It ensures changes created by social conflict and prescribed in the deliberate intervention by third person or third party to create change, touching on communication between parties that need to change, seeks to understand cultural patterns and values of parties. That is, in conflict transformation, what you do is to try to change the parties, try to change the issues, try to change the context in which the conflicts are happening in a way that people can see better, can act better, and can relate better. That's it. Another method of peaceful method of conflict resolution is negotiation. This is a structured process of dialogue between conflicting parties about issues in which their opinions differ. This is according to Fisher and others in 2000. There are different types of negotiation strategies. Positional negotiation or bargaining, whereby you stand on a point, you come up with your point and you want to achieve it without shifting ground. Principled or collaborative or constructive negotiation is whereby you see through the lens of the other party and you try to be reasonable in accommodating their needs as well. Conflict suppression is a way of bringing conflict under control by using force to push away the issues under the carpet or to impose a solution that is not sustainable. When you suppress conflict, you use force. Though, in a way, don't resort to violence, but you probably use power or you use certain factor that the other party will fear and give way. Inquiry, an examination of issues in order to establish facts that may be in dispute. You know that our governments have been setting up a lot of panels of inquiry. They do a calm analysis and consideration of historic facts and representation or presentations which people have presented, or a kind of write-up that people have made available to them. This has become useful since 1982 through the Manila Declaration on the Peaceful Settlement of International dispute. You can as well use good offices. Individuals, states, or international organs or organizations or bodies acting as third parties may assist in ensuring an amicable settlement of a dispute. For example, if there is a dispute in Ghana, we can send our former head of state to go and intervene there. People may listen to him. If there is a conflict between ethnic groups in Nigeria, the former head of state of Ghana or the United Nations can send somebody who has a reputation in the society, somebody who has contributed immensely to global peace to come and intervene. For example, if they send Bill Gates, who has been helping to sponsor some programs on diseases in Nigeria, can be sent to intervene, or Barack Obama, who is an African by birth, can also, African by descent, will be sent to intervene in any conflict in Africa in the former head of state, all of them like that, President of America. So you look for somebody who has a character, who has weight in the society, and send him to intervene. That means you have used good offices. Let us quickly look at Module 3, Unit 3. And here we are looking further at peaceful methods of conflict resolution. Don't forget, in the last module, we have looked at conflict resolution, conflict transformation, conflict management. We have also looked at negotiation, good offices, inquiry, and suppression. But another one that is germane to peaceful methods of conflict resolution is mediation. The use of or bringing a third party to intervene with respect to a conflict. It also be referred to as facilitated negotiation, whereby somebody comes in between the warring parties, facilitates the process of talking to each other, finding solution to the problem. Times he may have to give a word. Conciliation is defined by the International Law Institute in 1961 as a commission set up by parties either on a permanent basis or an ad hoc basis to deal with disputes and be impartial in the examination of the dispute and intervene as a neutral. Thus, the conciliator is appointed by the agreement of the parties, investigates facts in disputes, and suggests ways by which parties can come out of the conflict. The primary responsibilities of a mediator, which we have alluded to earlier, is well documented in your course material. I hope you go back to that for the studies. Arbitration is another method of peaceful engagement of conflict. The use and assistance of a neutral third party in conflict who listens to evidence put forward by parties and later takes a decision. Procedure for the settlement of dispute between states by a binding award on the basis of law and as well as undertaken voluntarily accepted. And the outcome of arbitration is as good as that of a court judgment when assented to by both parties. And it is tenable in court of law as evidence of an earlier agreement. There is also judicial settlement or legal method of dispute resolution, which is called litigation. Therein, you also want to settle the dispute amicably without fighting, without recourse to violence, and you go to court. Judicial or legal settlement of dispute is usually carried out by the court, duly established and signed. In Nigeria, we have 3 levels. We have local courts, like customary court. We have the state, like high court, and we have the federal courts. In the state, we have high courts. In the federal, we have high court, we have court of appeal, and we have the Supreme Court. The International Court of Justice is the judicial organ of the United Nations. And countries, all sovereign states can take their conflict with another state or resolution there. The court is usually made up of 15 judges, according to Article 3. 5 of the judges are elected every 3 years to hold the office for 9 years. That is with regards to Article 13 of the establishment of the International Court of Justice. We also have the Criminal Court of Justice, where people who have committed grievous crimes against humanity are taken for judgment. The regional agencies' arrangements to also address conflict include the African Union, also the other regional bodies like SADC and a host of others. So I hope that you students will be able to go through this because you are not able to participate. You know what actually happens and that you Module 3, Unit 4. We are now looking at coercive means of conflict resolution or non-peaceful means of conflict resolution. If a country has angered you or you have a dispute with a country, though these methods are not promoted, they are not encouraged, but at times there may be need that the country will resist aggression through war. So states usually wage war against each other for the purpose of achieving desired goal or objective or protecting the interest of the state, national interest. For example, it can be the boundary. If another state enters your state and is about to annex it, then you can resist that annexation. You can resist that urge to take over your state by asking your armed forces to also act. So it's a case of the victor and the vanquished. Usually engages armies of 2 nations. Our armed forces of the 2 nations, maybe Air Force, maybe Naval, or maybe Army. There's another one that is called reprisal. You have been attacked and you also need to act. It's a coercive action as well. And although it is not legal, but it ranges from bombardment, placement of embargo on goods or boycott on the goods. Reprisal may be expulsion of citizens of the country involved. Retortion is another coercive means of conflict handling. Retaliation for the discourteous act of another state, or friendly but legitimate act of the nation that has been slighted, resulting from stringent or harsh regulation or treatment of its citizens who are within the boundary of another state. For example, if your citizens have been deported illegally, you can also go and deport or ask citizens of that country who has performed that act of aggression to also leave the country. We have case studies like the Russia and United States of America case of March 23, 2011, and also Israeli used this justification when invading the Lebanon in 1982. Economic sanctions blockade is another coercive method, whereby the Security Council will approve that oil or whatever a country has should not be traded in by other international communities, or that they should not be supplied certain essential goods. This is aimed at making recalcitrant government to cave in. And okay, beautiful, you are coming up. I'd like to see your face. Fine, you have been with us since. Yeah, what's your name? I'm happy to see your face. Ajara Sani Ali. Hello, how are you? Yeah, I guess you will be part of the lecture.
Yes, my name is fine, thank you, sir.
Okay, beautiful. Your friend is Pipi.
Yes, sir.
He's also a student. Or if he's not a student, the internet connection is the problem. I think you have been able to hear me since. Were you able to hear me since I've been giving this lecture? If otherwise, you can go back to your...
No, sir.
You can go back to your portal. This is being recorded and it will be made available to you in your portal. Is that understood?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. But from what you have heard so far, do you have any question?
Well, the network did not connect. I just got the connection now.
Beautiful. So what, you have any question? Oh, you have not been able to see me since?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I've been on for almost 30 minutes. Anyway, this will be recorded and made available to you. But we still go on. If you have any question later,
thank you, sir.
You ask. So I hope you are there with us so that we can continue with the lecture. Don't leave, Don't leave your system.
Yes.
So we now want to look at Module 3, Unit 5. And we are going to look at another germane issue, gender issues and humanitarian intervention. You know, women and children are the ones mostly affected in any conflict area. And the United Nations and other states have considered it important that we must put in place safety valves for women and children in a way that they will be able to survive war situation, or that they will not be able to be oppressed during war or armed conflict. But certain concepts are germane. For example, when we talk of sex, it refers to the biological characteristics of males as different from a female. But when you talk of gender, you are talking about the assigned characteristics or social characteristics assigned to a man and a woman in a society. In some societies, they say men are able to do this, women are not able to do this. That is gender assignment of roles. Then gender is a socially constructed identity through which roles are assigned. But there's another concept that we call gender mainstreaming, which refers to strategy to strengthen gender equality. That is to be able to ensure that both men and women are given the same opportunity to capacity, securing the same interest for both men and women. That is what we call gender mainstreaming. Let us look at acts perpetrated against women and children in armed conflicts. We have violence, emotional, socio-economic force, coercion, suppression. We have abuse. You know, women can be sexually abused. To suppress them. And coercion, forcing them to do what they do normally want. In such situation, the person who has committed that atrocity is called a perpetrator. Whereas the person who suffers that atrocity is called a victim. Victimization is another concept that you need to learn about. Then what are the specific issues that have been raised about the Peking Platform for Action in 1995 recognized that this was intricately linked to equality between women and men, that is gender equality. In 2000, the United Nations Security Council passed a draft resolution 1325, noting resolution 1325 has to do with women, peace, and security. This committee was established in June 2006. There are a number of things that should be done in post-conflict situation that we engage women. For example, women are now pushing at the envelope of constitutional law and striving to influence constitutional reform processes. What we are saying in essence is that in any post-conflict society, women must engage in the constitutional reform and not govern. They should also be heard. They should also be at their mind. Have achievements that pointed at, like we have in Somalia, East Timor, Iran, Ireland, Liberia, where women are now playing a dominant role. You remember the president of Liberia, who was the post-conflict society president. Post-conflict rehabilitation and reconstruction. This is very fundamental to any post-conflict. These women are suffered, involved in trauma, in passage. So therefore, their economic emancipation, their emotional influence, all others must be taken into consideration. Women and ability and reconstruction, we must recognize the crimes that have been committed, and people who have committed the crimes must be made to account, even if they are going to be pardoned after they have so many they apologize. So we need to encourage women NGOs in order to ensure relief, signing gender action to prevent domestic violence or to reduce combatants in a way that women will be pleased. Humanitarian intervention, which is another issue that we have raised here, has to do with UN authorized intervention in any conflict. If a conflict is going beyond, the UN can intervene by sending peace enforcement body or force, like we have in Liberia and Sierra Leone, ECOMOG authorized by the UN under the umbrella of ECOWAS. So the legitimacy of humanitarian intervention has to do with the status quo, especially customary law and codification of laws as essentially the responsibility to protect is germane to the issue of intervention. And in 2001, International Commission on Intervention and Government was established, and it came up with the idea that there could be a lot of intervention and against the greater non-military measures in solving conflicts. So we have only looked at Some of them have to do with women and children and humanitarian intervention. The international community cannot just be watching when people have been humiliated, when the entire country is torn by war. There may be need for humanitarian intervention, like it was done in Sierra Leone, in Liberia, and even in Congo, a host of other, in Somalia, in Rwanda, in Burundi, where the international community has to intervene because of the need to protect human beings and ensure their well-being. So far, we have looked at our Module 3, and we have looked at the 3 units here. Unfortunately, today, most of you are not able to participate in this lecture. But if perchance you are able to watch me, please tell your colleagues to go back to the platform, learning content platform. Azan Taufik, you are coming up, so that they can listen to this lecture and prepare their questions against our next meeting next week, Wednesday, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And what we'll be doing next week is to entertain questions, contributions, and observations from the students, so that as you are preparing for the incoming examination, you will be able to do better, be able to do well, so that Azan Taufik, try to put on your camera so that we can see you live on this synchronous facilitation, online facilitation. So it has been a moment that we have been together, and I'm waiting for people to come up. Don't forget, let me quickly recap that GST 202, Fundamentals of Peace Studies and Conflict Resolution, is a general studies course that you have to pass before you can graduate. So don't forget that before you are able to do your TMA, which is still available, TMAs 1, 2, 3, all of them are still available. None has been blocked. What you need to do is to read the course material online. When you read the course material online, you watch the video lectures that have been prepared, which is similar to what I've done today, but which may be more detailed as you are taking unit by unit. Then you try to participate in the forum discussion platform. When you do all this for each of the modules, for example, if you do it for module 1, you'll be able to answer your TMA, be able to do your TMA 1. If you do it for, if you do the exact things that I've said for modules 2 and 3, then you will be able to do your TMA 2. And when you go down, you will see what you need to do to be able to Ajarasani. I no longer see your pictures. Have you shut down your camera? Or is it your network? Okay, you are coming up again. Beautiful. That's fine. So tell your other colleagues, and this will be posted on your online information platform. Okay, beautiful. Okay, what have you done before to your camera?
The network went off. I'm using my phone now.
Okay. Can I
Hello?
entertain some questions from you, from the little you have listened to? Is there any clarification you want?
No,
Have you done your
no, sir.
TMA?
I will listen to the video.
Okay,
Yes, I have done it.
you have done the 2 TMAs. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I hope if you listen to this and the video lectures, you should be able to get a kind of summary of what you need to know about the course as you are preparing for your exams.
Yes.
Okay, well done. So
Yes.
Azan Taufik,
Thank you.
can I listen to you? Though you are not seen. Azan Taufik.
Sir?
Taufik, I can see that you are online, kind of. Do you have any question that you want to ask? Okay, so essentially, why do we have this course for every student in NAM? There is the need to change our orientation about conflict in this country. There is the need to change the narration of conflict situations that we have in this country. There is the need for all of us at our individual level to be able to intervene in minor conflicts before they generate into bigger ones. Most of the conflicts that we have in this country have to do with people who have a kind of personal conflict, intrapersonal conflict. People who have not been able to resolve their intrapersonal conflicts. And so when they have cause to interact with other people, they carry on with aggression. Hello, Azan. Hello, I'm listening. It's like your internet is not so strong, or probably I can just hear you pam, and there is not audible. Okay. So what we are saying in essence is that the need for this course is beyond passing the exam. Though you need to pass the exam to be able to graduate for any course that you are doing. But again, we need to ensure that we live in a more peaceful society. Across the nation, we have conflicts ranging from ethnic to religious to political, business, and intergroup conflicts. We have a lot of domestic conflicts that we also need to learn about and be able to be good interveners so that we can live in a more peaceful society. Okay, for today, since we are not able to hear you people from out there, I hope we should call it a day. While I hope that by next week we get a better interaction. Next week, like I said, prepare all your questions that you want to ask about this course. Prepare any suggestion that you have. Prepare whatever comments you have. Prepare whatever you think can benefit your other colleagues as contribution to this course, so that we come together 4 to 5 to relate again on this channel. And I hope by then more people will be able to participate and you people will have more access terms of relating with me. Once again, I'm Dr. Olabamiji Oyeboyle. Thank you for being here. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.